For 6 months, I've lived alone in this apartment. All alone in 8 big rooms. I was dejected, despondent, and disgusted. And then you moved in. My closest and dearest friend. And after 3 weeks of close personal contact, I'm about to have a nervous breakdown.
The Odd Couple is a classic 1960s film that is the second collaboration between actors Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau in a film career together that would last until the 21st century. The plot of this film is pretty simple. Jack Lemmon stars as Felix Unger, a news writer with a wife named Frances and 2 young children. After Frances throws him out and demands a divorce, Felix wanders the streets of New York City contemplating suicide. He eventually winds up at the home of his friend Oscar Madison, played by Walter Matthau.
They broke up? Who? Who? Felix and Frances, who? They broke up. The entire marriage is through.
You're kidding. Well, I guess I'll just be running alone.
Felix.
Oscar volunteers to take Felix in until he is able to cope on his own again.
Don't you understand? I want you to move in.
Why? I'm a pest.
I know you're a pest. You don't have to keep telling me.
Then why do you want me to move in?
Because I can't stand living alone. That's why. For crying out loud, I'm proposing to you. What do you want, a ring?
Oscar is also a divorced father and a sports writer who lives as a complete slob.
I got brown sandwiches and green sandwiches. Which one do you want?
What's the green?
It's either very new cheese or very old meat.
I'll take the brown.
This is in contrast to Felix, who is a compulsive neat freak.
And we have a nice warm sandwich for Vinny. Ah, gee, it smells good. What is it? Bacon, lettuce, and tomato with mayonnaise on pumpernickel toast.
You mean you just made it?
1, 2, 3.
You put in toast and cooked bacon just for me?
Don't like it? It'll make you a meatloaf. Takes them 5 minutes.
Eventually, the two begin to get on each other's nerves, and hilarity ensues.
You don't have to clean up.
Well, what you do is worse. You're always in my bathroom, hanging up my towels. Whenever I smoke, you follow me around with an ashtray. Last night, I found you in the kitchen, washing the floor, shaking your head and moaning, footprints.
I didn't say they were yours.
Well, they were mine, damn it. I have feet, they make prints.
To brighten their spirits, Oscar sets Felix and himself up on a double date with a pair of English sisters who live in the apartment building.
Kitchen's yours, all yours. You go make a meatloaf for 4 people and come a half hour late. Go on.
Listen to me. I'm arguing with him over gravy.
Hey, they're here. The dinner guests. I'll get a saw and cut the meat. Listen, I'm not going to take the blame for this dinner.
Who's blaming you? Who even cares about the dinner?
I care. I take pride in what I do, and you're going to explain to them exactly what happened.
Okay. You can take a picture of me coming in at 8 o'clock.
Over time, Felix wears Oscar down, culminating in a hilarious argument that is one of the most memorable in comedy film history.
Oscar, what is it? Is it the cooking, or the cleaning, the crying?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's the cooking, the cleaning, the crying. It's the talking in your sleep. It's those moose calls that open your ears at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Directed by Gene Saks and written by Neil Simon, this movie was based on Simon's 1965 Broadway play. Upon its release in May of 1968, it grossed over $44.5 million on a budget of only $1 million, making it a major box office success. The Odd Couple was the 3rd highest grossing film of 1968 and spent most of the summer of 1968 at the top of the box office. This movie was the biggest hit for Paramount Pictures since The 10 Commandments in 1956.
One of them wants to wrap you up and make a bundle out of you. You're doing better than I am. Come on, get the ice bucket.
Well, don't you understand? I cried. I cried in front of 2 women.
And they loved it. I'm thinking of getting hysterical.
This was the second collaboration between Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, and their film partnership would continue for another 3 decades. The original play starred Walter Matthau as Oscar, but it starred actor Art Carney as Felix. Filmmakers thought that Art Carney didn't have enough box office punch for the movie, so they cast Jack Lemmon in the role of Felix. Other actors were considered to play the Oscar and Felix roles, including Jackie Gleason and Frank Sinatra, Mickey Rooney and Dick Van Dyke, and Jack Klugman and Tony Randall. Klugman and Randall would wind up portraying Oscar and Felix in the 1970 ABC television series, which would air until 1975.
Can two divorced men share an apartment without driving each other crazy?
Monica Evans and Carol Shelley portray the neighbor girls known as the Pigeon Sisters. And they would both play the two laughing geese in the 1970 Disney animated film The Aristocats. Now, I first saw this film when I was 6 years old, and I've seen it many, many, many times after. It never gets old, and I still find myself laughing out loud at the dialogue between Lemmon and Matthau.
Get off of my back, Oscar! Now get off! Off!
Well, what's this? A display of temper? I haven't seen you really angry since the day I dropped my cigar in your pancake batter.
Overall, this was their second film together after The Fortune Cookie, and I think it is much, much better, far superior in quality and in humor.
I'm trying to clear up my ears. You create a pressure inside your head, it opens up the eustachian tube.
I highly recommend The Odd Couple.